Welcome back, everyone. Got an exciting video for you today. We're continuing the milk Molar bottle build. Last video we showed how to do the foundation and set this up. I did tweak the railing just barely off video after I'd filmed that video. Instead of the triangular floor panels that I had there, I just put a half floor panel, that way I could fit these here evenly. I just extended them instead of having them end on this seam here. They're just halfway further, that way I could fit the corner panel, and it just helps hide the edges that you know obviously have with the curvature of the bottle. Normally I'll put railing here at the end as well. This is completely up to you. It's just nice because I don't like to see the dirt as much there. And this just kind of makes it look a lot more even. So we'll just do something like this. Obviously you can't run the railing all the way around the bottle because of the curvature of the bottle, but even something like this will really clean it up. Whether you display the creatures you've killed, or a boss, or you make it even more of a storeroom, you obviously have an insane amount of space, as you can see. So I'll probably do that, but let's get down to the exciting part. I am going to build this differently than the first Molar bottle teaser I did when I first started this channel, one of the very first videos. I am going to put a loft like the ones I've been putting in the cans, a slightly larger one. The chest will be pretty much the same, but I came up with this idea, and it'll leave a lot of room at the bottom that I'll probably turn into like a little teleporter room, instead of just having the teleporter kind of near the dirt here and the bed covering this dirt. It'll completely hide the dirt. The only dirt you'll be seeing is this corner and this little bit right here, which is acceptable. I mean, it's really hard without losing all the space in here to completely get rid of the dirt. I've done my best to make it look clean. So here we go. This is the new idea I have, and I'll show you multiple versions of this. I will be building multiple versions of the Molar bottle because the sky's the limit. You can honestly just do so much in this game. But here's what I came up with. We'll do our walls, we'll do our floor right here. So as you can see, that ends perfectly and gives us even more space. You could turn this into more storage, or make it the focal point when you walk in here. I had the mant braziers on each one of these because this is like dead space. As you can see, it's just dirt. Before I had the mant braziers on each side, the bed, and a teleporter, then the chest. But you could turn this into larger items, or even more shelves, or whatever you want. But I'm gonna do something that's just aesthetically pleasing. So, and just to see if I can, it's just fun to see if you can actually get away with fitting some of these things in these small spaces. So let's just see. This is what I kind of came up with, and let's see if it works. And more importantly, it might work, but we want it to look good as well. So let's just see what we got here. Now, the way I had this set up before, this was none of this space. This was just open. I just had some chandeliers, or like the mantis like chandelier things up there. And we should still be able to fit chandeliers because you get a lot of coziness from those and they look good. But let's just see what we got here. I'm thinking we can box this out. We can put a ladder here. I could put it on the corner. It'll tell me it's obstructed, but it's not. We'll try it like that first and just kind of move things around to see how they look. And it might get tweaked a little bit later anyways, because I don't have the telepodies or anything, so I can't do much with that. But as you can see, there's a massive loft compared to all the cans now. It doesn't cut into any of the storage space. Actually, it'll give you more because you can put like the cabinets and make it like a loft that actually looks like a room, which is kind of cool. I do have a few ideas about where to run the ladder. Actually, let's see. I'm just trying to kind of plan ahead here, because if we're thinking new game 2 to get the most space out of this, honestly it might be better to do this. Might be better to do this and put it on the side, since we have that cubby cut out, and that'll give me room to make an actual teleporter, like a actual teleporter room down here, because I'd like to, in the long run, have a kitchen. We're gonna put a kitchen and all the other stuff in another can. I'm curious if I can fit in here. This would be ideal if this fits, because then we can do this right there, and then have the little cutout come up, and that gives us a lot of floor space where the bed is. And then essentially we'll copy this, and then we'll put it right here, so we don't have to see back there, and that walls it off and there's very little dirt. You can even protect your telepody. Even though I always leave these open, you could put a door here. For looks, I have to go get the materials, but you get the idea. Then the telepody fits in this single square right here, and it shouldn't stick out if I'm... No, it shouldn't stick out through the top. The only thing that sticks out like that's the pet house. So, and you got this little tiny cutaway, and as you can see, all that ugly dirt is pretty much gone. There's very little right there. And then we come up and we've got this whole other floor now that we can, you know, build our bed, do similar style, so when you walk into the base, you can see it. And like I said, some players aren't going to be looking for, you know, something as fancy. So let's just see what we can do here. We gotta get this thing pretty even. Something close to that. Well, let's see. That's pretty close. But we gotta come forward quite a bit. And now I know placing the pedal bed can be a nightmare. Like, no joke. It can totally be a nightmare placing this thing. It is very temperamental. Sometimes if you hit, the like reset access button, it will help. Actually, that's not too bad right there. If it'll hang out. I was gonna put it sideways originally, but it didn't want to work with me too much, so it's got to come back though. I'll come down here and look. I definitely don't want it, like, yeah, popped through the fence there. I mean, even if it fits, like, there's enough room in these cans to build it properly and not have to have it, you know, things like glitched into the other item. It is acceptable to do that if you want to maximize space, but I do care about the looks as well. Just kind of see which way we gotta go to center this. I want to get it right almost to the edge of the ash cement. Right there. It's definitely kind of hard to see when you're placing this. You gotta move it a bunch of times. When you have the handy net, it's a lot easier. It's pretty centered though. This bed is a little tricky to center because it'll look centered and it'll look even and it won't be. So let's see. So this side's still cutting through. But we got a little bit more room over here. Here, let me move this ladder for a minute because I think it's causing that to not want to lay properly. It should have no issue putting it near the edge. Not sure why it's being difficult. Okay, we're getting close. Now I might bring it back. A little bit of it being clipped into the fence isn't bad as long as it's not like extruding, and it is still. You can see it's just a little bit, but it's almost centered. Close. We might still have to put it the other direction, but let's just see. There we go. I guess changing the camera angle will make it less irritated about the area that I'm trying to place this bed in. Okay, that's pretty good. It's gonna have to come back though. Let's see. So we're over a little too much now. That should be really close. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Alright, we can leave that. It's clipped through, but you can still see the fence. And we're maximizing space. That way we have this whole area right here where you can spawn if you do die. It won't like spawn you stuck in something. So that looks good, and then it's still on the floor, so you're not having an issue climbing up when you use the ladder. Come on. We'll have to go get some weed stems. Now you could even turn these into windows too. I'm gonna leave them closed, but as you can see, I mean, we could put windows there and be able to see outside. You are gonna see a little bit of dirt. Well, you know what? Let's try it and see what happens. So, you know, you could do that. I mean, I wish they had like a smaller window, like so you couldn't see the dirt, but I think I will leave it with the solid walls. That's just me, especially since you can hang things on the walls a lot easier, so I'll just do the solid walls. But there's an idea for anybody that wants a little natural light. So we have a ton of room up here. I mean, you can put your armor stands up here, the dressers. I don't have all the things to furnish it right now. I'm just giving you a layout plan, and then I'll do a video where it shows everything furnished. You can see the bed fits in here well. It's not clipped into the ceiling. We're even. I'll put little lights. This is our little pathway. We'll climb up, and I'll leave this cut out empty right here. Maybe slap my armor collection right here. You could put, if you evenly space them, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7 or 8 of these evenly spaced of the armor dummies. So we can slap a crafting table so I can start building things here. I need to get some chests over here so I can move materials so that we can build this for you guys. And This is one instance where I do let it, the armor table, clip the little vise on the side. I'll let that kind of clip into the side. I do try to end the table so all table legs are showing, but just the vise handle is put in there so it looks nice and even. And then you want to go till it just barely, you see how it's cutting through the back wall of the table. You can see the beam. You want to bring it forward just enough to where you can't see it right there. Check your legs against the bottom. And then you got a nice evenly, as you can see, it's right on the edge of the seam, a nice evenly placed crafting table. These are here just, they were just saving the grass blades. Like I said, if you don't want to have your stuff disappear, just build it into like junk walls and stuff so you can store it later. I don't like to build the platforms unless I'm building like a whole base, because there's no point on me building a pallet to hold grass blades when I need 3 of them. And you could adjust this a little more, but that's pretty even for me and it doesn't stick out. Boom. We'll slap a shelf above it and there's more storage. So you got all of this storage. You now walk in and you'll have your fancy balcony. We'll throw probably a chandelier or 2 up here, some wall lighting. This will be for your telepotty. Yeah, that's 2 more new games from here. You know, I'm still in the standard game because I want to show you guys how to build in the submerged can without using a telepotty. It's really easy to build
Don't
in
even
there.
need to boil it.
And you can even get weed stems in there. I figured out a way to get them in without using a teleporter, and so you can build, you know, stoves or whatever, you know, you need. Or if you're way early in the game and just made it up here, you just want to put like regular beds that take weed stems. So I want to show that before we go to New Game Plus, and then we'll be raid testing all these in New Game Plus and just killing it. So here's your telepotty room. I guess I'll just leave that, which is cool. We'll build this right now. I'll go get the materials. So we probably need like a good amount of weed stems if we're gonna do the railing up top. So there's a few right here. This is honestly such an awesome place because not only like, so if you don't have like a mantis fountain, there's grass blades, there's weed stems, there's pretty much everything you need here. There's water here, so there's this sprinkler right as you walk out. There's always like a ladybird right here somewhere, but there's this sprinkler that'll drop water droplets right here, and then they'll usually roll over here. You'll find them right here a lot. So you have water. If you don't have like a source of water yet, you can obviously you can fit a sap or the dew catcher inside. You can fit like a lot of them inside the base. I never use those by the time I build this base because, like I said, I would just have I'd rather have like no water and just use the sprinkler instead of building all that stuff, but it's your preference. So there we go, and then we'll have to get these up there, which is like a little tricky, but not too bad. I'll have to get pond moss. How many do I need? One. So 18. I can hear the ladybird walking around. You gotta be careful because they'll get glitched in the rocks. There's also clay right here, literally right outside, and then there's clay up here. I believe it's like right here somewhere. Yeah, over here. You really do have a huge source of a bunch of stuff. There's weed stems right there and right here, the tall weeds. Let's see. And then obviously you got the dandelions and all that too. We'll go back and grab that dandelion I just chopped down over here. You just gotta watch out because there's a lot of fire ants that run by right here. 16. So there should be 18 unless I don't know how to count. Actually, we're gonna have one extra because I think I had an extra one in there. Oh yeah. So we have plenty. Let's do this. Come on. You can do it. Okay, so that's completely optional. I just prefer it to look a little more even. You know, so you can't tell, you don't see the dirt as it like hides the dirt right there. So now it's just a nice even space. But like I said, it's completely up to you. Just leave this over here. So to store this in case I'm going to use it, we'll just, you know, do a little wall right here. And then there's a spare weed stem. So I'll grab some pond moss and we'll start building chests. Now the way I do chests in here is a little tricky. You can build the shelves first, but it's easier to place because it'll get really weird, especially with ones that are in tight spots. Like you could build those first. Either way, it's going to be a little difficult. So I'll throw down some stairs. I usually just do brick and then move it around as I'm building these things. Like we'll start here. You don't need it for the first row. Obviously, you can do the first row just fine. And you can double these up, don't forget. Now, I always put them like this one here. I prefer, like I said, the clean look. You can do them from the side, obviously make them even, but you can fit 2 per shelf, and then you get like crazy storage. I'm just gonna do this. That's once again preference. Let's get the torch out. It's nice to use the torch because you can really see. I use the edge of the burr floor to line these up as clean as I can. So, and sometimes it is hard to see these. So let's see. I'm going to move this over 1. Come on. So I got a little bit more height here. And then that way I can kind of see what's up like this. And they don't have to be perfect, but it definitely helps, especially if you take all the time to build this base fancy. You want to line all this stuff up. You'll do that, you know, build, copy your shelf, put it on top, you know. Rinse and repeat. So now that it's high enough, we'll move over here and we'll do this one, and then we'll do the next row. I can copy this since it's not labeled. And same thing, just get the chest relatively where you want it. Get your shelf. And then what we'll do is actually flip this around. It just makes it so much easier to be able to do this. Get a little space. There we go. I like to just put it right to the edge of the line right there. And then just the same thing. You can always adjust them later. It's easy. Like like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then if you're looking, I just like when you're looking down the side, I like them to be even. And I don't like them to be clipped into the cement wall unless they're turned sideways, then I just deal with it. But yeah, I don't like to have them clipped into the cement wall, because like I said, if you take this much time to make a nice base, you might as well lay out all your stuff so it's pretty even. And then as you can see, those look pretty good. It may not be perfect, but you know, close enough. It just takes up a lot of time doing this. Come on. Sometimes you need to reset the axis again for it to want to like put the stairs or whatever you're building in the right spot. Sometimes it's just complicated. It's exciting. It's gonna be an awesome base. Can't wait to see the next version I come up with. Then we'll do this one. Now these get a little tricky, but you just wanna, you can change your camera angle, obviously, to help with this. And these ones might not be super perfect, but as long as it's close, that's all that matters. How's that look? That looks pretty good. So as you can see, I mean, it's already starting to look awesome. I mean, we got our storage, a loft. Obviously we got to get lighting and get all the fancy decorations and stuff in, but this is a good start here. Sometimes laying these, they don't want to place properly. You just gotta keep moving the camera between, you know, first and third person and see if you can get it to do your bidding. Come on. Check them and see. So that could go, well, yeah, that could go over just a little bit. Well, we need to go over the other way a little bit, actually. So it's deceiving because of the angle. It's very hard to see. And sometimes it just does not want to build right. A little more. There we go. That looks pretty good. We'll take it. Let's just keep going. Party foul. I'm out of lint rope. So I'm gonna have to go and make more materials, more lint rope, but you get the idea. We're gonna do that. We're gonna fill all of these here. 2 more chests there, 3 here, 3 here. We could block this off if we wanted to hide the dirt. Well, actually, I'm probably gonna leave this blank. This is where I put the yoking, whatever it is, like the yoking table or whatever. And New Game Plus, I'll put it right here, because of the dirt. So I'll probably leave this as just an empty slot. Start the shelf there. Put 2 chests, 3 chests, you know, 3 chests. Essentially repeat the pattern here. Who knows? Maybe I'll change it and put it right here. We'll see. But you get the idea. Obviously, you don't have to build it exactly like this. So teleporter room. I'll go grab some pond moss, and then we've got the bed. You can do. I could even put the. I could even put the fridges. If I want to do the armor stands right here, maybe I'll put a fridge right here to store like food. I'm probably not going to put cooking stuff because, like I said, I want to just get the telepotties and make a can. One of the bases that I've turned into in the cans, it's a fancy base. I'll just turn into a kitchen, and then obviously I'll just have a fridge here that has like stuff I need on the fly, and then I'll have one that's a workshop, which is just a bunch of spinning wheels and, you know, all the utility tools to make things to build, because I'll be doing videos on the defense events and like how to cover those like capacitor things for the Java-matic, as well as all the other bases that I'll be building in. So this will probably just be some fancy, like, I don't know, I'll display something or do another throne room, I don't know. But hopefully this was helpful. So you got your main base layout done. I am gonna end this for today. I'll build the chests and everything, and then we'll pick up on the next part. I'm definitely gonna do a little walkthrough of the base when I'm done, and then I'll show raiding it. We'll do like a crazy raid, just like in the last can, and just show it off so you can see like what to expect. But I do need to go farm more materials and finally kill the wasp queen on this save. So, and I need to go kill the infected broodmother on this save also. So hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. One other thing I forgot, if you guys watch all the way through this, any of my subs, I appreciate everything. I appreciate the people that have sent like chill vibes and everything, because I, you know, broke my leg a few weeks ago, my ankle in 3 places. I got good news yesterday. I got put into my first cast, which is like awesome. You know, I'm stoked. And they're thinking I don't have to do surgery, so yay. I mean, I'm relieved at least. But I just wanted to thank everybody again for like all the chill vibes and everything. I really appreciate it. So once again, thanks. If this was helpful, please share it so others, you know, it can help other players, new or advanced players. And stay tuned for the next video. Till next time.